Fox 11 News at 5. I'm Christine Devine.
I'm Alex Michelson. It was just here, Combs' home in Miami. We were just hearing that his home in Miami was also searched. Fox 11 was first on the scene and first to report this breaking story. Now to our team coverage at 5. Chelsea Edwards breaks down the other allegations Diddy is facing.
But first, Fox 11's Haley Winslow joining us live from Holmby Hills with more on what investigators were looking for. Haley?
Christine and Alex, yeah, we're still trying to get all the details and get more information basically from investigators. But here in Holmby Hills, it's not actually a gated community, but his home is actually gated. It's still behind this police tape right here, up this hill to the right, where you still see a lot of undercover police cars that are...
Breaking news at 5. It's video you first saw live on Fox 11. Homeland Security agents in those Bearcats converge on the home of Sean Diddy Combs. Officials confirm the raid is tied to a sex trafficking investigation. Welcome to the Fox 11 News at 5. I'm Christine Devine.
I'm Alex Michelson. It was just here, Combs' home in Miami. We were just hearing that his home in Miami was also searched. Fox 11 was first on the scene and first to report this breaking story. Now to our team coverage at 5. Chelsea Edwards breaks down the other allegations Diddy is facing.
But first, Fox 11's Haley Winslow joining us live from Holmby Hills with more on what investigators were looking for. Haley?
Christine and Alex, yeah, we're still trying to get all the details and get more information basically from investigators. But here in Holmby Hills, it's not actually a gated community, but his home is actually gated. It's still behind this police tape right here, up this hill to the right, where you still see a lot of undercover police cars that are parked there. But there is apparently a guard that is on the property, and when this all broke, we were, of course, the first here to tell you about it. We were just down the street, and we were actually in the middle of it's kind of like a motorcade, the convoy of these 40 or 50 different police cars, all undercover. And this is led by the Department of Homeland Security, LASD and LAPD here assisting as well. It's been going on for several hours now, since about 1 p.m. in fact. And from Skyfox, you can see the officers go in and they detained 3 people. One of them they pulled out. You can see it from Skyfox and pulling him out. We don't yet know how they're related to this investigation or what they're being charged with. They weren't actually arrested, but they have been detained. And while this was all going on, they were also raiding his home in Miami. Now, again, we do know that this is in connection to sex trafficking allegations, but we don't yet know those details. We're still waiting from them from Homeland Security. But this all happened on Mapleton Drive. This is right near Sunset and Beverly Glen, which became an absolute madhouse. It started out with just hundreds of officers, literally, and then just my photographer and I, and it turned into a lot of onlookers. There was even a celebrity tour bus that came through here trying to figure out what was going on. So as soon as we get more information about these allegations, we'll of course bring it to you. But for now, reporting live here in Holmby Hills, I'm Haley Winslow, Fox 11 News.
Thank you so much for joining us. And if you can make light of what we're looking at in terms of Homeland Security making entry into the Holmby Hills mansion of Sean Combs.
Sandra, this is a Homeland Security investigations that appears to be on site. What they're probably looking for is, well, I should say in general, they look at human trafficking and sex trafficking being a component of that. And of course, there's been some rather big civil suit stuff that's taken place, but also the New York case where the statute of limitations basically had been rescinded, allowing them to look back many years in this case. Part of it was there have been allegations that he was drugging young women, so that there was which certainly implies that it was rape that had taken place at some point. But I think what HSI is probably looking at is the interstate aspects of it, if there was any online activity that could have taken place. And that's usually where HSI would have a jurisdictional interest. Homeland Security Investigations being part of the Department of Homeland Security, looking at the interstate side, mostly online, and whatever took place across state lines. And of course, he travels all over the place. So I'm sure they're looking at him potentially transporting women around the country and whether that was tied to a larger criminal activity.
Yeah, definitely Homeland Security involved in any interstate, as you mentioned, and international criminal activity here. So what exactly do you think everyone is looking for at this point? We saw such a large number of law enforcement make entry.
Well, it's a combination of both local and federal. And from what I understand, the local law enforcement has the specific lead at each one of these locations, with the federal federal investigators coming in with them in concert. What they're probably looking for is any evidence that they can gather, certainly any images, pictures, video, anything online. I've no doubt that they're going in and gathering up any electronic media, to include any laptops, any flash drives, anything that he might have that might support whatever allegations, whatever reasonable suspicion that they have that led to this these search warrants. You know, just to get a search warrant like this requires a certain substantial legal barrier has to be, or legal argument or legal litmus test has to be met just to get them to sign off. Particularly knowing with somebody with means like this, that if they go into their home, they're going to be met with some very capable lawyers on the defendant's part to challenge what was ever done, and everything they do there is going to be challenged. So you can imagine, not only did they have to work with the district attorney and potentially assistant U.S. attorneys in arranging this, but they also are being very careful on how they're gathering any evidence, realizing that just about everything they do on site will potentially be challenged in court by his attorneys.
Absolutely. And speaking of his attorneys, we did reach out for comment. We have not yet heard back. Obviously, we want to hear his side. For Sean Combs' part, he has denied any allegations regarding sex trafficking and any investigation into that. But yeah, this could take a lot of time in terms of collecting that hard drive and flash drives and any computers they may find. Like I was mentioning before, Hal, it's very difficult to know where someone would have that or would hide that if they were trying to hide evidence. And we're looking at a big mansion here. Before we get back to you, Hal, let's go to Haley on the ground there.
Hey, Sandra. Yes, we just got that statement from the Department of Homeland Security that I was trying to get for you guys about 10 minutes ago. It doesn't say a whole lot, but it says this is attributed to Homeland Security investigations. Earlier today, Homeland Security Investigations New York executed law enforcement actions as part of an ongoing investigation with assistance from HSI Los Angeles, HSI Miami, and our local law enforcement partners. We will provide further information as it becomes available, so nothing really that we haven't already told you. Here on the scene, on the ground, a lot of the law enforcement officers with Homeland Security have gone up the hill. You can see one of those big command vehicles coming out, one of those police vehicles. In the meantime, behind us, several of his friends, they've identified themselves as, have been trying to get through the crime scene to get to the house. But of course, LAPD not letting them through. We've tried to get comment from them on camera to find out if they have any more information about what's going on, but they haven't been able to they don't want to provide us any information, I should say. And just in case you're just joining us, we have homes of P. Diddy being raided on both coasts, Miami and his home here in Holmby Hills.
So, Haley, just to clarify, in that statement, it didn't mention Sean Combs, correct? Or anything?
It doesn't, but we have confirmation from multiple law enforcement sources that this does involve Sean Combs or P. Diddy. But no, this statement, I'll read it one more time, says earlier today, Homeland Security Investigations New York executed law enforcement actions as part of an ongoing investigation with assistance from both HSI Los Angeles, HSI Miami, and our local law enforcement partners.
All right.
We'll provide further information as it becomes available. And of course, we're trying to get them to talk to us on camera, but they said, the lady in particular who sent me the statement says she's not allowed to.
Thank you so much. Yeah, not really clarifying a whole lot, though, but clearly understandable because right now, maybe they're not in position to